Whew, so many tasks to wrap up before I get on the plane next week. It's like, am I crazy?
Quick intros. What are you going to do in San Francisco?
Meeting the huge institutions on the West Coast is a pretty big deal.
So, oh no, flip that up. Sorry, hold on one second. I'm really nervous today and I don't know why.
My ask is...
It makes you look a little bit like you don't know your shit.
I mean, you're going to Silicon Valley. It is the Mecca of startups.
I'm not ready for the US.
We're getting on the Google bus. Quick trip to Stanford.
Hosted by Blackbox.
Jump over to LinkedIn, breakfast at Atlassian, VC after VC after VC after VC.
Every single time, nail it as if it is the biggest pitch of your life.
Game on.
So where's everyone else?
Carla's just standing over there. Yeah, I'm standing in the middle of the walkway.
Yeah, just there, see? Oh, yeah. Ah! How long have you been there for? Just think I can't see your face.
My initial research was based in the States. That's sort of where it all started. After uni, I decided to try and get some experience over there. Moved to San Francisco because I have family there and they're heavily involved in the startup scene and they're very much my target users. So I got a really good understanding of their life, their pain points, what they would need in a product like this. How I'm feeling about going to the States in terms of confidence. It's an amazing opportunity and I just want to take the most of it, but there are other days where I am anticipating how that's actually going to play out.
Here we are, we're in San Francisco. Yay! Yes! It's awesome. Silicon Valley is the highs and the lows of tech. It is the extreme, and some of you will go into the extreme and go, I actually don't want to live in the extreme. And others will say, yes, this is where I want to be. Your startups will thrive and survive because of what you learn when you're here, because of what you take away from your time here, and because of the conversations and relationships that you have and that you build and that you make. I know you're going to have a great time. Tonight we're going to have a wonderful dinner and we're going to hear from a couple of female founders here who've come from Australia and into Silicon Valley. The perfect way to start. Are you ready for a huge week? Yes! Yes!
We started in Australia in 2005, so that'll give you some context of how long sometimes it takes to be successful.
I will launch in Australia, but for me, America has always been a market I wanted to get into. But more than that, I think the product's needed more here. Americans are really spread out across the country, and so chances to talk about these things are reduced even more. How do you know when you're ready for the US?
It doesn't matter how big the US is. If there's a market for what you're doing and no one else is doing that, somebody else will claim that space if you don't.
Before we went to San Fran, we were really trying to rush through to get a prototype up and running. Not necessarily something polished, but something that was good enough to show. If I had the opportunity to pitch, it's just so much more powerful to be like, oh, here, you can test the product. We decided to build the product sort of undesigned to save time because we wanted to get it ready for the States. Because I have a design background, I'm finding it really hard to show people. While it's working and it's still exciting and I should be proud of it and I am proud of it, it's hard to show people when it feels unfinished and when I know that it's not as good as it could be. This is really where Heirloom began, before it was even called Heirloom. So it began in the garage there, but more than that, or beyond that, it's when my life totally changed its course.
She came at a time, for us at least, where Sarah, my aunt Sally's mother, had just died, and we had just had a kid, and Sally's business idea resonated strongly and immediately with us.
And we haven't seen the demo, like we haven't seen any of this stuff, so that way you know, like,
where we're coming from. We've seen Sally as a person, but we haven't actually seen the product.
So you just think it looks so awful. So this is like the first question. So do you have a will? If you have children under the 18, have you appointed a guardian?
This is great. So you're collecting data even before people sign up. When Sally first came here, we did a lot of talking about her being the face of Heirloom, and that means going out to networking events and talking about it and developing her pitch and saying her pitch to people that she doesn't know. She did not want to do that. She didn't do it, and now, you know, this week she's out there talking to various very well-known companies.
It's been really exciting to see her confidence grow. She's recently, like, she's coming to believing that she's seen numerous times where she's made a decision and she's done it, and it's like, it's turned out well.
Sally is definitely one of the most humble people I know, and I think that's reflected in her product design. It's a really tricky thing to talk about something that's so emotionally laden as death. She's been able to walk that line. I know that right now, up in the attic, we now have boxes for Brian and I's personal history for the kids. And that is a... This is still hard to talk about. Brian and I still have boxes up in the attic, and that's a direct result of conversations with Sally and her reflections on what she wished she had now that Sarah's died.
They really made me realize that I have a product and it's amazing and it's working and it's doing something that's good and it's doing something that's needed. There is a sense that it feels like it's another beginning.
Parts of the US will be really good, like, early adopters of this type of stuff, especially for our generation that's thinking about our parents. There's obviously a giant market in the US that are all technology enabled.
I feel like in America, there's this reluctance to be vulnerable in a way, and something that can help people here have these really tough conversations might be more applicable to the United States than Australia.
You know, people will be talking about this thing as they prepare. Like, have you done your heirloom yet? You know, have you thought about your heirloom? Why were we never doing this before? It just makes so much sense. I think she'll have done the world a great service.
And my kids don't know it, our kids don't know it, but I think they'll also feel very lucky.
I trust their judgment so much. They can see where my head is at or where I'm at with the product, and now help me with the next phase, and that's so valuable. So definitely no regrets.
This is going to be completely overwhelming.
You sort of have a bit of an idea of what to expect, but you're not sure.
Understanding scale is what this is. How big can you get?
Where's Google?
Are we too small a drop in the bucket to actually fix this problem that other people seem blind to?
It's very obvious here in San Francisco, but it's happening everywhere.
It breaks my heart.